What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a reaction to the We Were Young festival that just got announced. This is the first year of the Las Vegas-based festival, and really interesting lineup. Now, I wasn't originally going to talk about this because a lot of the content on my page, mostly hip-hop, but I definitely grew up on pop punk. I've been to Warped Tour in the past, and a lot of these bands definitely listened to when I was young. So just for the top billing, we got My Chemical Romance and Paramore. The My Chemical Romance booking, fantastic, obviously, because they've been meaning to do that reunion tour for quite a while. I actually have tickets to see them in Toronto. If COVID's not a thing, we'll see how that goes. And then Paramore is readying a new album, so I'm pretty excited for them. I'm not too big on their newer sound with the more like indie pop flair to it, but some good songs on their last few projects. AFI, I don't know if they should be this high billed. I don't necessarily know if it's, I don't understand the billing necessarily, but AFI really haven't released a relevant record in quite a while. Lead singer Davey Havok, great singer. They're still good performers, so I think that will do well. The Used, I saw them at Warped Tour in 2013 in Toronto. One of my all-time favorite like post-hardcore, pop punk, emo bands is from that era. Really big fan of one of their last records, The Canyon. That album was fantastic and definitely underrated. If you like that kind of music, you should definitely check it out. But I'm happy that they're doing this. For their live shows, it's mostly playing the first two albums anyway, so I think they'll put on a phenomenal show. Bring Me the Horizon, I believe, are readying a new record. That Die For You song was a banger from last year. I'm excited to see what they have coming out. Their last few releases have been a little bit more obscure, a little bit weird, but if they play like Suicide Seasons or This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Is Made For, if like they play some of that early stuff, it's gonna just go off. Especially Sempiternal, that record was phenomenal. Taking Back Sunday, haven't really been doing too much. I like their Make Damn Sure album from years ago. That was a good one. But, we're quite a few years removed from that. I haven't really been following them that much. Dashboard Confessional. I know that they've been still touring quite a bit. I haven't really listened to much of their music. Alkaline Trio, I'm surprised by, because I don't see Blink-182 on here, and I think that they would have probably fit with this whole festival. And the lead singer obviously is the same one from Blink-182 now. I didn't know that they were still touring, or that Matt Skimbo was still making music with Alkaline Trio, but correct me if I'm wrong, maybe they have a new singer, I'm not sure. Pierce the Veil, surprised that they're on here. I thought that they got canceled, or the drummer got canceled, something like that. Speaking of canceled bands, I'm surprised that Ghost Inside is not on here that I can see yet. Maybe they're further down. Story So Far, their last album was phenomenal. If you like pop punk music and you've never checked them out, I really, really enjoy them. Dance Gavin Dance, really excited to see them on here too. They don't really get enough credit. One of my friends, Corey, is super into them, but I knew some of their older songs, like Death of a Strawberry and stuff like that, but I hadn't really sat down and given one of their projects like a multiple listen. Just, I think their 2018 or 2019 album I put on my year-end list, and I listened to it a few times and enjoyed it, but I got back into them actually last year, and their last record was great. Huge fan. All American Rejects, they got some hits, but nobody's really checking for them anymore. Boys Like Girls, they're a 1 or 2 hit wonder for me. A Day to Remember, they released an album last year that sounded pretty dated, but I still enjoyed it. Still fun to listen to. Knock Loose, one of the newer bands on here, and a bit harder than some of the more pop punk bands on here. Happy to see them getting that exposure, though. That would be a very fun show. Avril Lavigne is readying a new record produced by Travis Barker, and that "Bite Me" song, not from me. Find it kind of corny. And her new single with Black Bear, don't like that either. But good for her. Good for the resurgence. I believe she's dating Mod Sun, so she's kind of in that like LA pop punk scene with like Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker, Mod Sun, all those people. So good for her. Happy that she's come back in some way. Neck Deep, I'm surprised, is billed so low. They're a very, very big band in pop punk right now. The Maine and Mayday Parade, very similar to Boys Like Girls and All American Rejects. Didn't do too much for me even back then. A little too soft for me. Happy to see Thursday and Armor for Sleep and La Dispute. That's awesome. 303 and Atreyu. I haven't heard of Atreyu in years. Their one record from years ago was actually very enjoyable. I'm happy to see the Wonder Years on here. Overall, like almost every band on here I've heard of, which is just absolutely insane. I can't imagine how they're going to book the schedule for this. Like, who are they going to put up against each other? How are they going to control the crowd? It'll be interesting for sure. I don't really trust festivals their first year. Even me and my buddy Dylan went to Boston Calling on the new grounds in 2017. Yeah, 2017. And the logistics of it were kind of all over the place compared to something like Bonnaroo. And a lot of these bands, I don't know if they are the typical festival goers. This is just like, to me, this is just an amazing Warped Tour lineup. And I'm wondering what it's going to be like going to a festival like this, like with all adults. Because I imagine most people are going to be like, maybe there are some younger people into pop punk now. I don't really see it that much, but I imagine a lot of them are going to be people in their mid to late 20s, early 30s, but it's cool nonetheless. They'll probably get some people who, are listening to Neck Deep and listening to Story So Far and some of those newer bands, which will be really cool. And again, getting My Chemical Romance is just a huge get. That pretty much sells it itself. So overall, super excited for this lineup. I can't say that I would personally go just because I'm located in Canada, and just with traveling restrictions and things like that, things will probably be better by October, but booking a hotel and flights, just not fully knowing like the protocol when it comes to border by that time, it's definitely a little nerve-wracking. But overall, what did you guys think of it? Are any of you going to go? I have a lot of Canadians on here, so I'm interested to see if any of you guys are going to make that trip down to Vegas. But thanks for watching. Take care.